What up, guys? We are out here at Harry Myers Park for another Discmania Duel. This time, it's a doubles round. We got Team Colorado and Team Texas. Teeing off first is Team Texas. We got Nathan Perkins, new addition to the team, and we got your favorite Eric, the hipster Oakley, teeing off.
What's up?
Looking fresh with his new haircut. And from Colorado, we got another new team member, Jack Peterson. Watch out for this guy. Best attitudes on the course and one of the coolest guys out there. Got me throwing my DDX. Hit a tree, fall short, just to the left.
This hole is really all about just getting off of the box. If you get out in the open, you should be able to get a pretty comfortable three. But the green is still really tough to manage at times, and you're going to see coming up what we're looking at. Basket towards the water. Not the easiest thing to play with.
See, it's pretty fast with that water right there, so throwing a sidearm is a really good choice here because it fades away from the water. But not in that case. Eric threw kind of an unstable disc. Turned over, put it off a putt.
Boom. Jack giving it a real good run, and this one actually goes in the water, which is a total bummer, so Eagle gives it a half bid and puts it under the pin. No extra strokes.
Yeah, buddy!
Bang. Big putt. Look good. Team Texas on top.
Gross.
Talk about this hole, Eagle. What do you like to do on this one?
This is a par 4. It plays as a legitimate par 4 for, I'd say, 99% of the players, but there is the small percentage that can go over top and possibly get the 2. So if you're Simon Lizotte or Paul Macbeth, you're probably going over the top and going for it. Otherwise, you're probably taking a straight shot down the gut.
Yeah. It's really easy to just let the hill be your friend and cruise down there and give you a nice upshot. You'll see it gets pretty jaily up here, so that you got to manage a really good shot. Nate, pretty much a forehand master. He throws a lot of sidearms, and he's very comfortable with the disc he throws. So I see him park this. So I'm trying to throw kind of a tournament style shot, find my strength. Feels good. Clips a branch. Jack with a good run after Eagle's monster drive. So he was like hoping to capitalize on the first hole.
These putts, you don't really know if they're going in or not. You're just trying to put them up there, maybe give them a chance.
Cleaning up.
Solid putt. There's Jack the tap-in master.
Tap-in master.
Team Texas up by 1 going into hole 3. This hole is probably the signature hole at Harry Myers. It's a par 5. The first shot you want to place it down just in that opening. And then the second shot you'll see you're throwing over this kind of bowl, if you will, and then into some trees, and that's where the basket is. It's definitely a legitimate par 5. Pretty hard to 3, but you're going for a 4. That's the goal.
4 is a great score. You're stealing strokes on a lot of the field because there's a lot of trouble. You can see this drive. Where those trees are down at the bottom, it's actually kind of a creek-like area that played casual, and if you're in there, it's absolute jail. So you're looking to just smash on it. And on this second shot, all you're really trying to do, you see that dirt patch, you're trying to get into that bowl and give yourself a look to hit that mouth. Once you're there, it's pretty comfortable up and down.
See, we're in a pretty good spot here. It gives us a chance to kind of attack past that hill. Like, I'm throwing our new DDX right here. Just see that great turn on the disc. And that'll put me in a great location just to pitch up and get the 4.
Here again, Nate with a really smooth sidearm that just works its way up. That was, I believe, with an FD. And if you're throwing an FD on a sidearm, you have some pretty solid control. I kind of try and take the similar line and catch a tree.
Yeah, guys, watch out for Nate Perkins. He has one of the smoothest sidearms in the game.
Works the disc really well, understands how the discs are going to fly, and it's impressive. And you see where that drive landed. As we learned from Eagle, you really got to take these putts very carefully. No mishaps. So talk about this tee pad, Eagle. Why What is this?
Well, before the tournament, there was a lot of rain here, and this course, it gets saturated very easily, so it's incredibly muddy. So the whole tee pad is just smeared with just chunky mud.
Yeah.
So we're all forced to throw minimal run-ups or even standstill.
Be clean.
Yeah, it's a great course. When it gets wet, it's in between your shots. You don't even have to. You're not even thinking about your shots. You're worried about the cake all over your feet. So you can see that water running through it. That usually is pretty dry. You go with a good bit there, though.
Nate,
For a tree.
look at that spit out. Yeah, that was kind of a 50-50 there. He just got a little unlucky. Eric with a kick off the tree.
Yes, go.
Tap in master. All right, hole 5. This is kind of it's either a hit or miss. Like, you definitely want to birdie it, but if you don't hit, it's not the end of the world, because there's quite a bit of trees to maneuver around.
If you can hit the gap, you're kind of just looking to come either just left or just right of that tree, right in the middle, the big one. If you get just left or right of that, you're going to have a pretty open look. You see Nate and I put ours real close, and these guys are looking good, but you can catch any one of these trees. It's wooded courses. It happens. It's a good bid from out of the shul. These guys.
Team Texas putting it in for 2. Team Colorado with a 3. They got us by 2 right now. What are you throwing here, Eric?
I'm throwing the Metal Flake DDX. I still don't have that disc completely figured out for the sidearm. I chose to go with the CD2 the rest of the weekend, and it played very, very well for me. But the disc has all the potential because the disc is so versatile. And then Jack smashes this thing.
This is a great shot. I'm pretty sure you got a PD2 on that one. Just force it over and let the overstableness do its work.
I felt really good about this one.
Oh, that was a good run.
Uphill putts
slow right.
they're tough. You got to get them more straight than you think. You're always playing the fade on these longer putts, but just got to put it straight in the heart.
Tap and master.
Even the tap and master has to hit some big ones. It's good.
Eric putting in for 3. Got one on him there.
Yep.
This is probably the easiest hole in the course. You see that tree right there? That's a Mando left. So most people are just going to want to take an easy little sidearm over and get your 2.
It does slope off just kind of beyond the basket. So if you do force it too long, you find a lot of trouble, and it is not easy to get your 3. I like playing the lower skip shot. Sometimes you get some good skip out here, but this ground is different everywhere. So boom. Tap and master. Still 100%, looking good.
Tell me about this hole, Eric. Hole 9.
So I think this is another one of the more iconic holes on the course. It's a long tunnel with a lot of trouble. So you're either looking to work a nice fairway that goes from straight to right and has a little bit of finish at the end, or a lot of players play a sidearm off the box and bail out to the right so they have an easy up and down. But if you want that too, you got to lace one. Nate playing the sidearm, bail out. It's pretty good.
We had to stand still in the mud right here, and Jack just throws a beautiful line. You really can't get much better than that from where he was at.
We were up there watching these shots come in. Eagles was looking real good. He was going to go to the bucket, and he just caught a late tree. See, this is where the sidearm leads you. Easy little pitch up to the bucket if you play it right. So definitely a smart play if you just want to take your easy 3, but you got to have that money sidearm.
Oh, tough miss.
This one was actually a little bit longer than it looks in camera. So these weren't easy putts. It's another one of these uphill putts with awkward footing. These guys didn't have. It's really muddy down there. So
we weren't too happy about that. You never want to miss the inside the circle putts.
Yeah. One of the very few backhands you'll see from Nate Perkins. He does have that in his game, but stick to your strengths. I decided to avoid everything and throw a big ante with the DDX. Disc works, goes a long way. If you get it up enough and let it fight out, you're going to get super distance with that disc.
Definitely.
Jack doing the same.
I'm just taking an FD over the left side, just letting it glide out. Don't want to deal with anything.
He's going with a high route on this one. Comes in a little short, so it allows me to be kind of aggressive here because we know we have a putt. MD3 sidearm.
Beautiful shot right there.
Felt so good out of my hand. That's one I actually got from Eagle McMahon.
And stick.
Yep, really beat in. Guys, do your best to beat in your MD3s. They're some of the best mid-ranges ever once they get beat in. You can manipulate them to do anything. Look at Jack's shot right there. Easy 3. Great shot by Jack.
Clean up. Still got a two-stroke lead coming into some of these bigger holes. So this is another big hole. Tell us about it, Eagle.
This
That'll
hole.
work, Eric.
This is hole 11. It plays a pretty solid par 4. You've got 3 options off the tee. You can take the highs here to put yourself in the middle of the fairway, down the gut just to lay yourself up, or if you have the arm, you can go big and try to get yourself an easy up shot. We all went up the gut, or no, we didn't. I went big, and I was in the bush. It wasn't a very good shot.
It's a tough Anheuser line to hit. Just catch these branches. It was looking really, really nice.
Nate throwing a sidearm there. If you see it, he finishes really good.
This one sticks.
He's gonna give himself a good, clean look to the bucket.
We need to air this on our Discmania.
Jack throwing a sidearm.
This course sucks.
Good angle, it just didn't get the flare that he wanted. He'll be a little short.
And it's pretty tall out there, so you're not getting a whole lot of action once the disc hit the ground. There's when these courses get really wet, you don't have the mowers can't get out there to clean it up.
This was a great outside the circle putt by Eric. He smashed that one for 3.
Eagle had to make it to keep within striking distance, because you know how quick these games can turn.
Guys, take a look at this. Uphill, forehand. If you see it,
Flex shot.
almost aces.
DDX sidearm. Nate Perkins he knows that sidearm game real well.
All day.
Eric, what'd you throw there?
I think that was a CD2. I just tried to kind of throw a big flex line and held on to it a little bit too much. Kind of similar. I was trying to go for Jack's line, that looked really nice. And then, what are you gonna do here?
I'm just taking the big hyzer. Like, if you can see it right there. The wind was blowing pretty strong left to right, so I did my best to read the wind. So it kind of stalled out and finished pretty close.
Nate cleaning up is really smooth.
I don't think we got the putt on that, but we got the 2. Nate taking the sidearm gap, he falls down a little short.
Really like the sidearm gap on this one if you don't feel comfortable with throwing over the top. You just gotta miss some of these trees.
3rd run PD here, just sneaks past. We'll have like a 20-foot putt right there.
Really good line, very smooth. This is that control game that you guys should continue to always be working on. It's not all about the big distance throws, because you see here we have a long putt and this is a shorter hole. So the distance isn't everything. Gotta hit your lines, gotta make sure you capitalize on every shot.
Definitely.
And you guys clean up for your birdie, was really nice. Jack going with the sidearm here.
Go.
We kind of got lost there, but he finished probably about 35 left.
Just slide that one off. I try and follow his same line and correct off of his miscue there. Giving us a look. The wind was pushing these down, so you had to really fight against it. I think the sidearm was the better play when the wind's like it was. And Nate catches something early, so we have another big putt that we got to have.
Smashes it from downtown.
Yeah, we needed that one to kind of try and keep in the lead.
Jack puts a good run on it.
This putt. Bang. Like a champ. That thing hit so hard. It sounded like it was an ace. He hit it so smooth and so clean. It's a great hole for those guys to stay.
That one felt good for sure. This hole's a little awkward. You gotta kind of just miss everything. Right here, I'm going way over top just to spike in on it. I feel like this is the shot if there's no wind. If you see, I just finished left there. I have about a 20-foot putt. Nate catching some shrubs on the right side. Falls out in the middle of the fairway.
I was going for the same line. Wind just pushes me down. Good rip.
PD2 on the right side, same thing.
Another long putt here.
The signature Eric Oakley dance, then step putt.
Shake it out, dude. Nate giving a good bid here since he knows I'm up there. Catches that land.
Tap-in master.
In master for a good birdie. We're tied.
Tied.
Piece.
Tie ball game. Jack ripping the DDX right here. Just throwing it out left and letting the disc do the work. Great disc for high turnovers. Jack was in a good spot, so I figured I'd try a 360. I completely smashed this one. We walked up there and it was too far in the trees.
Yeah, this one had Nate and I shaking a little bit because of how far he threw this. We thought they were going to have a pretty easy upshot, but you know, there's a lot of these cedars out there, so it's hard. This one I was not happy about, but it ended up in a pretty good spot. This hole had my number all weekend.
Nate smashing just a DDX forehand.
He ends up also in the trees, so we decided to go with my shot because it was a more open look for a big hyzer. Nate, another big flex side iron. I'm pretty sure that was a DDX as well, and I think he just got caught up. We still had a putt.
All right, guys. Too bad you couldn't see where this landed from this shot, but you'll see it in a sec. This was incredible. He's never seen this shot before, and he just steps up and parks it. Complete luck, but it was a great shot.
Complete luck. You can say that. I felt really good out of my hand. I just knew where the basket was, and you have the disc in your hand. Gotta throw what you know.
This was Jack's tomahawk, and just there he hit it off the top. We had a little bit of a headwind, so he was raising them. Not much to be said about that.
You can see that's where I ended up. Jack was actually fooling around with us, saying that I threw it in for a 2, but where we ended up was still pretty sweet.
Here's the second par 5 on the course. It's not that hard. Off the tee, you just kind of want to get one turned over, maybe get a little bit of flex. Then your second shot is basically just crushing out in the wide open field, setting up for your birdie attempt.
Would you call this one probably more often a par 4?
It's a tough 4 and a weak 5, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like most of the top pros are 4ing it almost every time.
Yeah. If you get a really good solid drive that carries way right, you give yourself a chance for a 3, which is a great eagle to get. But I think this is more often than forward. But there is the OB, the distance factor. You can definitely give it that advantage. I smashed mine. DDX down there, nice turnover, using the hill and the wind to my advantage to keep the disc from holding out too long. Nate smashing another DDX sidearm.
Jack with a PD2 here. Gives it some turn, but it fights out a little too early. Right here was a major foot fault. Like as you see, the yellow disc was where I was supposed to throw it, and there was a mini behind. So we ended up taking Jack's shot just because of that.
Going.
Jack is a good line.
Good run with the P2.
Best approach disc in the game.
Definitely.
So, you'll talk about your new putts.
I am putting with the P-line P2s right now. The latest run is kind of like, it's a little bit softer than your average P-lines. That's why I like them, but they're not as soft as the D-lines. So if you like kind of a hybrid feel, I highly recommend checking out the P-line P2.
He likes the white ones. Those are the ones that...
Don't buy the white ones because I want them. You can buy any other color though.
Oof. Up by 1. 2 holes left. Great hole here. I choose the wrong disc. throwing a CD2. It's my favorite disc, but I thought the tailwind was actually going to fight me out a little bit more. Catch the branches, easy 3 from there. It's not.
Nate with another Metal Flake DDX sidearm. He was smashing that thing today. He gets a little turned, but it starts to fade out. He gets a good little skip.
I don't know how many people took sidearms over that water, but I think he might have been one of the few. He just has so much control and so much smooth.
This shot by Jack was awesome. It was also a DDX. Just put a great turn on it. Right here you see, I'll give you a little scream right there. Smash Heiser over the trees.
That's in the basket!
Just parked.
This is one of those holes or this is one of those courses that if you have that big Heiser game, it's tough. It's tough to beat. It's tough to beat because you have so many options of being able to capitalize on a lot of these holes to get 2s where more people are taking 3s. And we have a little mental mistake here, not cleaning up our 2s as these guys with the tap-in master take it home. Tied. One hole left to play.
Tied on the last hole.
Fire Hydrant Peterson with a good Heiser line.
Comes up a little short.
Still a look, so it's a good golf shot.
Right here, I'm throwing my purple PD2. Super overstable, just smashing it out there.
And they are parked.
So putting some pressure on Team Texas right now.
Nate gets this up a little bit in the air. It's Heisering out. He's got that smooth sidearm line. If he would have gotten this over a little bit more, I knew he would have been parked. I don't have that same Heiser shot that Eagle does, so I'm trying to go up the gut and clean up.
Oh, come on, go.
Was that CD2?
CD2.
You guys are probably about, I'd say, just on the circle's edge right here.
Yeah, 30 feet comfortably. Just a little spit out.
Nate, little left, could have stuck if he was lucky. Eric with a kind of a dirty spit out. You can see why it spit out though. Jack with a
grin.
sinister smile right there.
Taking home the win.
Taking home the win.
Down most of the round, and actually since hole 1. I'm pretty sure you guys were down the whole time.
Well, that's a wrap, guys. Glad Team Colorado brought it home. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Big thanks to Discmania. Big thanks to Eagle and Jack for taking the challenge. Big thanks to Nate for being my partner.
Keep on dreaming.
Keep on dreaming.